Now, still about Indonesia, the country is facing the dual challenge of optimizing and safeguarding its fiscal revenue, sir, while also maintaining growth momentum. In your view, what strategies can be applied to strengthen Indonesia's state revenue, especially from key sectors, without stifling business activity?
The key here is economic growth. You know, you can't collect tax revenues from companies that go bankrupt or from people who are unemployed. You can't do. You need employment, you need growth, you need prosperity. So what they want to make sure is that the taxes don't stifle the growth, as you say. Make sure they don't, which means you do not want progressive taxes. You want a flat tax, not a progressive tax. If someone earns more money, they should pay more taxes, but they shouldn't pay proportionately more taxes. That you shouldn't punish people from being successful. You want to make sure you have prosperity, economic growth, and profits and employment. If you tax employers, if you tax profits, if you tax people's incomes progressively, you're going to stifle that growth. Make sure you have a low-rate, broad-based, flat tax, but not progressive taxation. Don't tax those sectors that you need for revenues excessively. You can kill that goose that lays the golden eggs, as we say here in the U.S. And you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that the economic growth sectors prosper and prosper quite strongly.
Doctor, you've long advocated for supply-side economics for Indonesia. How can such approach be adapted to maintain fiscal resilience while also incentivizing productivity across sectors, including manufacturing, consumer goods, and also technology?
Yeah, well, you could do it. Just think of it. I think of Indonesia as being the United States a long time ago. Now, in 1910, total government spending as a share of GDP was 2.5%, 3%. Now, I know it's not as low as that in Indonesia, but it should be kept very low to allow the private sector to expand. You look at incentives in the spending policies to make sure that the incentives in spending policy create economic growth as well. This is all supply-side economics. Supply-side economics is basically incentives are all that matters. That's really it. And people like doing things they find attractive and don't like doing things they find repulsive. And what you want to do is ensure that your government policies don't make good things bad. People do respond to these incentives, and that's really important that you look at the incentive effect of these policies as well as the static revenue effect. The static revenue effect should be cut low, and the incentive effect should be focused on very highly.